All right, welcome everyone to the Wellness Within workshops with Collaborative Cancer Care. Thank you so much for being here. This is a new series we're starting just to really help individuals further on their journey in terms of, mental and emotional well-being, because that's why we're here. That's what we're all about. So these workshops will be monthly on various topics. Today we are kicking off with mindfulness. And we have Shella Beuazil, who is a licensed clinical social worker with Collaborative Cancer Care, and she is going to lead this workshop. And I'm excited that you all are here. You're registered, so you'll get the updates for subsequent workshops. But with that, I'm going to kick it over to Shella, and I am going to go on mute. And if you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the chat. And with that, Shella, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Wendy. Um, I'm so happy to be here talking about mindfulness. It's something that I'm really passionate about, and it's great to kick off our wellness workshop on Wednesdays with mindfulness. So for today, I just wanted to start off by just kind of talking a bit about mindfulness, what it is, little bit of the science behind it and how it can really be beneficial to really anybody, any human being, but especially to the oncology world, cancer survivors, caregivers, patients, um, all of the above. And at the end, we'll go into a practice, and I'll talk about a little bit about some techniques that you can use. And so one of the reasons why mindfulness is so important and I'm so passionate about it is because it's something that is always accessible to us. No matter where you are, how you feel, you always have this with you. It's always free, and it's curated just for the individual. So just to kind of jump into it, what is mindfulness? It's simple. It's being aware. I like to describe it as being intentional about your focus. So, I want to ask you, is there any part of your life where you practice being intentional? And, be feel free to put in the chat where you feel like you find areas in your life where, you practice being intentional. And if you think about this question and you notice, oh, maybe I'm not being intentional, maybe think about, what will you want to choose in your life? Where will you want to choose to be more intentional? So, mindfulness, most people think mindfulness is meditation. Meditation is mindfulness, it goes hand in hand. And meditation can be a form of mindfulness, but there's so many different other ways we can practice mindfulness. Um, Eating, we could be mindful about eating, being intentional with every bite we take and just savoring the flavor, savoring the texture, just being aware of like what that experience is for you and just being in that moment. um Conversation, like engaging in a really good conversation with another person. That's another area where, you might not realize you could practice mindfulness, where you're really actively listening to another person because you're really into what they're saying, or you feel very passionate about what you're saying and you're able to express yourself. And that's that's where all your focus is in that moment. um Exercise. Exercise is another area where you can practice mindfulness, and even taking a walk. and just being aware and intentional about every movement you make. And other activities, art activities, maybe fixing something where again you have all your focus and awareness in what you're doing, with your hands or whatever the case may be. So again, meditation is like a form of mindfulness where you're connecting your breath to either you're incorporating your breath into the practice. So for example, if you're practicing mindful walking and you're being intentional about every step you take, you could kind of broaden it by like connecting it with your breath, and just every step making the inhale and the next step you exhale. And while you engage in that, your mind is not engaging in that mindful wandering. So much of our thinking is automatic, where our minds are very much influenced by what's happening, and we just kind of like let our thoughts kind of flow. And sometimes when they flow in places that aren't helpful and that could cause us some anxiety, we're in a little bit of trouble. So our minds are composed of two aspects. So there's our conscious mind, which is a part of our mind that we're actively aware of. It controls logical thinking, reasoning, decision making, and willpower. It's responsible for processing new information, analyzing situations, and making deliberate choices. So, you know, we're driving and someone cuts you off, and if you're the type of person who's more sensitive to like road rage, it's your conscious mind that is at the forefront, analyzing and trying to figure out, why did that person cut me off, like this could, like they could have went this lane. And then making choices of how you want to deal with that situation, if you want to lean on your horn, or hopefully you make a good choice. But so that's an example of like your conscious mind in effect there. And so the other part is our subconscious mind. So our subconscious mind operates beneath our awareness. It's where we store our beliefs, our memories, habits, emotions, and automatic bodily function. So our subconscious minds are kind of the things tucked in the back that we're not really aware of, that we're not consciously thinking of. For example, breathing. You don't have to think about taking the inhale and taking the exhale. It just naturally happens. You don't have to think about your heart beating, your heart beats, your heart rate. That is controlled by your autonomic nervous system, which I'll go more into detail about that a little bit later. But your subconscious mind influences your behavior, your instincts, and your feelings based on past experiences and conditioning. So your subconscious mind works in the background. It shapes thoughts and actions without direct conscious control. Um, so next thing I want to talk about is stress response. If you don't already know what stress response is, it's our body's reaction to stress. So our nervous system is composed of two parts as well. There's our sympathetic nervous system and our parasympathetic nervous system. And both of these are part of our autonomic nervous system, which I mentioned earlier. So this system prepares our body, the stress response prepares our body to respond to danger. So for example, if you are walking down the street and you see a bear, a grizzly bear that's coming your way, your body's reaction to it without even consciously thinking about it. And what might happen is your heart rate will increase so that it can deliver, your heart can deliver more blood and more oxygen to your muscles to prepare you to run away. Your pupils will dilate so that it can improve your vision so that you can see the best way to go. Um, it will relax your lung muscles so that you can enhance your oxygen intake. It slows down your digestion because your body has this wisdom where it knows that right now it's not important to digest food. We're going to use that energy to help us respond to the stress. So in stress response, there's the fight mode, flight mode, and fawn mode. So the fight mode is some people, when they respond to stress, they get ready to fight. So then these autonomic systems come in place where, like I said, your heart rate goes up, your pupils dilate, you get ready to fight, or you run away. So that's flight. So your body prepares itself so that it can use its energy to run away and get away from the danger. And then there's fawn, which is everything shuts down and you faint. Um, so there's a message, parts of our brain that get activated in the stress response is the hypothalamus, which signals the pituitary gland, which then activates the adrenal gland. That's important to know because these systems work together to release hormones in our body. Our hormones are like the instructions that our body needs to tell our organs what to do. So in stress response, our body will release stress hormones called cortisol and adrenaline in the bloodstream to prepare for that fight or flight response. And this is, again, this is the body's wisdom that helps us to survive when we're in danger. And that's normal. That's how we're supposed to be. The issue is when we're in prolonged states of stress, it starts to weaken the body, overworking the organs and weakening the immune system. The stress response actually shunts the blood away from the brain as well, so that we're not as logical in being able to make the best decisions. So being in stress response, it's exclusively, you can't be in stress response and be able to rest and rejuvenate and heal your body at the same time. It's one or the other. So the nerve that really is behind all of this is the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is a cranial nerve that extends from our brain stem throughout our body, and it controls the parasympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system is that part of the nervous system that is responsible for rest and digestion. It helps the body recover, heal, and regulate, has resting heart rate, lung function, your immune responses, digestion, blood pressure, saliva production, and involuntary sensory and motor functions like speech, urination, and taste. So to counteract stress, activating your nervous system to like turn on the parasympathetic nervous system is essential for restoring your digestion and all the healing capabilities of your body, and basically come back to overall balance or homeostasis. The benefits of activating this is that you improve your cardiovascular health, so it's good for your heart. You reduce stress and anxiety, which overall boosts your mood and your mental health, and it decreases inflammation in your body. There are so many ways you can activate your vagus nerve. Again, it's this nerve that goes from your brainstem all the way down, even connects to your digestive tract. So practicing things like deep, slow breathing can activate the vagus nerve and take you out of that stress response, that sympathetic nervous system where you're in fight or flight, and put you into that parasympathetic nervous system where you're relaxing, you're healing, you're rejuvenating. Um, Other things you can do, exposure to cold. So I still recommend, I still do sometimes, when having a frozen orange, having an orange in your freezer, because when you feel so angry or you're overcome by emotions and you hold a cold orange, it's really hard to stay angry and process how cold the orange is in your hand. So that's another way to activate that vagus nerve. Humming, singing, chanting. When you do that, you activate the nerve because it actually goes behind your throat. It kind of attaches to your vocal cords. Gargling water does the same thing. Um, Massage, acupuncture, hitting those meridian, those pressure points in your body can also activate the vagus nerve. um, Probiotics and gut health. That nerve actually kind of, like I said, it travels behind your back and it behind your like your intestines and everything. So like having good gut health can really improve that relationship you have with your vagus nerve. Uh, Social connection, laughter. Those are all like mood boosting things that also stimulate the vagus nerve. And meditation. So, practicing these things regularly can help improve your stress resilience, your mood, digestion, and heart rate through that vagus nerve stimulation. And another thing I want to say about gut health in the vagus nerve is I believe about 90% of our serotonin, if not 90, definitely more than 50. A lot of our serotonin is created in the gut by that stimulation of the vagus nerve. So when you're able to like practice that deep breathing or like, keeping your gut health good so that you stimulate the vagus nerve, you actually help your body release that serotonin into your bloodstream to travel to your brain to help you regulate your mood. So with all that science, a couple of mindful breathing techniques, or like one mindful breathing technique I like to teach folks is diaphragmatic breathing. It's very simple. It's basically, I call it balloon breathing. You pretend your belly's a balloon, and when you breathe in, blow your balloon up, and when you breathe out, your belly collapse. You can put your hands on your belly so that you can feel your abdomen expand as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you feel it collapsing. So we have a muscle right below our lungs. It's called the diaphragm. And that muscle is what helps us to breathe, helps to pump oxygen into our lungs and to push it out. And when it comes to breathing, like if you imagine your lung, like one lung, it's a lot smaller at the top and the base is a lot wider. So when we engage diaphragmatic breathing, we pull that oxygen to the base of your lung, which basically gives you the maximum amount of energy, maximum amount of oxygen that you could bring into your body. And again, like that belly breathing stimulates that vagus nerve in your gut. That helps you release that serotonin that goes into your bloodstream, that then travels up to your brain. And this is all free. This is all things you can do for yourself. It's amazing. Um, if you ever notice little kids when they're running and they're excited, and then you stop them and they're breathing and they're like, and you see them breathing through their chest, that they're engaging in that shallow breathing. And when you breathe shallowly, you're only using um that top portion of your lung. It's like when you breathe shallowly, it's like you get 1 cup of oxygen into your body. But when you breathe deeply through your diaphragm, it's like getting 10 cups of oxygen. So the first step is being aware. How do you breathe? Do you ever notice if you breathe through your chest, or do you breathe through your belly, or is it a combination of both, or have you ever even thought of it? That's something that, I'd like for you to take after this. Um, just being aware of, like, where are you intentional in life? Where are you aware? Where are you mindful? And then also, how do you breathe? Do you know how to take deep breaths, or do you breathe shallowly? All right. So with the rest of our time, I would like to practice a breathing technique and some mindfulness and some meditation. So if you would like to join me, just find a way to sit comfortably wherever you are. And wherever you're sitting, you just want to be able to kind of have your back straight, but without like too much effort, just kind of sitting back against a chair or against a wall. If you're sitting in a chair, you want both your feet planted on the floor. And then your hands, you place your hands wherever you like. You could place them wherever they're comfortable, on your lap, on your chair. And then it's optional to close your eyes. If your eyes are open, just keep a very low gaze to the ground so that you are relaxing your eye muscles. I like to close my eyes. And then when you're ready, just take a moment to check in with yourself. Take this moment in the day to check in with how you're feeling emotionally, mentally, physically. And then I want you to scale yourself from 1 to 10. 1 is very relaxed, like you can take a nap. 10 is very anxious, where like you can have a panic attack. In this moment, just gauge yourself and assign yourself a number and how you feel. Keep it to yourself. And we're gonna start by taking 3 deep cleansing breaths. So inhale through your nose. If it's comfortable, you could also inhale and exhale out of your mouth. Inhaling and letting it all out. Take another deep breath in and let it all out. And take one more deep breath. Take the next couple of minutes just to feel the effects of those 3 deep breaths. And before we start our breathing practice, I just want you to know, take care of yourself. If ever you feel lightheaded or dizzy from breathing deeply, just stop, slow down, take a moment to kind of catch your breath, or just practice breathing normally in and out. All right, so I think we will do 3-part breath. So this breathing technique is really, it's powerful. You'll feel the effects. If you have very low blood pressure, this might not be a great breathing technique for you. I'd like you to just engage in just taking deep breaths in and out. 3-part breath is basically cutting your inhales in 3, kind of holding it at the top and then releasing all the air out. So I'll demonstrate and then we'll do it together. So you sip in some air, sip in some more, fill up all the way to the top and hold and release. Then we set up for our next breath, sipping in some air, sipping some more, fill all the way to the top, hold, and release. Again, sipping some air, some more, fill up all the way, hold at the top, and release. Take 3 more of those breaths to your own pace. At the bottom of your last exhale, just start to observe your breath flow in its natural rhythm. Follow it for the inhales and for the exhales. If you have any thoughts that come to your mind that you notice, just gently and intentionally bring your focus back to your breath. And just observe how your breath knows exactly what to do and when to do it. Maybe you can become aware of the temperature that you feel in your nostrils. As you inhale, it feels cool. And as you exhale, it feels warm. And if you're breathing through your mouth, you may notice in the back of your throat, this sensation is cool as you breathe in, and it feels warm as you breathe out. Maybe you notice what parts of your abdomen move as you inhale and as you exhale. Notice how your breath knows exactly when to transition from the inhales, pausing at the top before turning into an exhale. Every time a thought comes, just gently bring your focus back to your breath. You are a participant and an observer at the same time. Let every inhale bring calmness and relaxation to your body. And let every exhale release all tension and stress that you're holding on to. Soften your face on your next exhale. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Bring your awareness to the sensations you feel around you. Maybe notice the temperature of the room against your skin. Maybe notice any areas of tenseness in your body. Maybe notice any sensations of itchiness for every point of contact between your body and your seat. Notice what thoughts come, if they come, and just bring your focus back to your breath. Let each inhale bring fresh energy to your body, and let each exhale release all tension, stress. Continue to follow your breath. It knows exactly what to do and when to do it. Let any thoughts that come to you just float away. And bring that focus back to your breath. Relax your eyebrows, relax your jaw. Soften your hands and your shoulders. Notice notice those points of suspension between your inhales and your exhales. Maybe expand your awareness to the sounds you hear outside of my voice. Notice the sounds you hear in the room you're in. Just simply listen without interpreting or analyzing what the sounds are. Just simply listen. Maybe expand your awareness to the sounds you hear outside the room. Maybe shifting that awareness back to sensations and what you feel. Maybe notice the temperature in your mouth. Maybe notice the temperature you feel in your nostrils or in the back of your throat. Maybe notice the temperature you feel against your skin. Start to deepen your inhale through your nose. Let it out. Take two more deep breaths to your own pace. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes to start to wake up the body. And take your time if your eyes are closed to start to gently blink them open. And take another moment to scale yourself again from 1 to 10, how you feel in this moment. You're ready. Maybe you can put in the chat how you feel. Hopefully, you feel more relaxed. Learn something that you could take on with you throughout your day. All right. If anyone has any questions or just wants to share their experience, feel free to let me know. Um, Hopefully, you have this sense of calmness. And while you're here, I just want to share that right now you're in your parasympathetic nervous system. This is where, this is the state where you heal, where your body rebuilds itself, where creativity happens, and you're able to be more logical and take this take this experience and know that it's always with you, and that I hope it helps you to feel empowered. You do feel stressed and overwhelmed. It takes some moments to be intentional about taking deep breaths and being intentional about where you focus your thoughts. All right, so that brings us to the end of our first Wellness Within workshop on Wednesday. Thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing me to share information about mindfulness. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye.
Okay, thank you.